This is a Maestro by Gibson, Les Paul Jr. style. It's white. It reminds me of Billy Joe Armstrong's from Green Day. I'm going to be cleaning it up. It's quite dirty, doing a full setup on it. But since I'm seeing Green Day later this year, I think in September, with the Smashing Pumpkins, and Rancid, Rancid, Smashing Pumpkins, Green Day. I saw this guitar. I got it for $30. $30 on OfferUp. So I'm gonna fix it up. It's got a loose strap button. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything with the. I might keep the bridge stock, or I might replace it. It has a humbucker. We're gonna test the output of that humbucker. The knobs, one is loose. The volume knob is a little loose, but I also need to throw some knobs on there. Definitely needs polished. I guarantee this is going to need to be all, yep, I'm going to have to address the fret ends. It's probably going to need a level and crown, restring for sure. But this is a fun little project. But other than that, some of the reason I've been not very active doing guitar stuff lately is that the weather has been very nice recently in Arizona. So I've been getting out with the kids, and they've all started to take an interest in skateboarding. So I busted out my old board, the Chad Muska. You've seen this board if you played Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Right now I got these things on the wheels that keep them from turning, so I could try to remember how to do tricks. It's been a long time. I haven't busted out ollies since I was a teenager. So, yeah. But throwing those on the wheels to keep them from turning, and I was able to get ollies this close to nailing, landing my kick flips. So really teaching, trying to get the kids comfortable riding a board, and then we're going to teach them tricks. One of the things I found recently was something I had when I was a kid, and it's this total 1980s board. I had this exact board when I was a kid. I don't know, this feels very cheap. The one in the 80s might have been just as cheap, but I definitely had it. This isn't for riding. This is more for just nostalgia's sake, having this Ninja Turtle board. Some things I found recently, if you guys aren't checking out Goodwill for like guitar stuff, like occasionally you get guitars. I find acoustics there all the time. And maybe they're worth it, maybe they're not, depending on Goodwill. Goodwill's kind of been hiking their prices, weirdly enough. They get all this stuff for free. They're a tax-exempt organization. It's all profit for them. Yet they've been kind of hiking prices lately. But I find really good guitar books at Goodwill. I recently found this, Joe Satriani, Surfing with the Alien tab book for $3.29. And if you sign up with Goodwill, they'll send you a monthly coupon. So it's 20% off when you spend more than $20, and you just keep using it all month long, and they'll send you a new one all month. It's a little QR code. I screenshot it, and then they just scan it at the register. So I get a lot of good books. I got some Rolling Stones books, which, speaking of the Rolling Stones, let me pull this Rolling Stones book out. According to the Rolling Stones, nice thick book. But speaking of the Stones, I'm going to be seeing them in a few days. Today is today is April 1st. I'm seeing them on April 7th in Phoenix. So, man, 6 days I'll be seeing the Rolling Stones. I'm excited for that. I got a lot of concerts this year to go to. I already saw Santa, which is Maynard James Keenan. It was his 60th birthday, and so he took his band Perfect Circle and his band Pussifer, and then also his friend's band Primus, and they all three put on this show, and they did something a little different. There was no opener, middle, headliner, they just rotated every 3 songs, and they would join in with each other on certain songs. It was a super cool experience, very awesome, and they were all amazing in concert. So there's a short of the one clip that we were all allowed to pull out our phones. He did something cool that I liked, where it was like no phones at all until the last song. He's like, all right, you can pull your phones out for this one. But it was really cool because it's like you're not distracted by people's phones all around you, and you're not distracted by your own phone. You're not living through a screen. You know, you're there in the moment. You're enjoying the music. It's a way better experience, just the way that concerts used to be. So that was pretty cool. Now this, I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It's definitely getting set up. I got to find out what's inside. I got to find out the output of this. I might swap out, you know, put something else in here. I might keep it stock. Who knows? But let's see if we can get a reading on this pickup. Everything on 10. All right, that pickup's output is 10.8. And you know what? That's good enough for me on something like this. I'm going to keep it in there. 10.8. I like it. Let's see what kind of pots we're dealing with here. Small. We're dealing with small pots. Well, let's find out what their output is. I can loosen the nuts for those potentiometers with my fingers. We are working with 500K. Okay, they're just small pots. Small 500Ks. All right. Since this is a Maestro, which is like, you know, Epiphone makes the cheaper versions of Gibsons, but I think this Maestro brand was like, if the Epiphone Les Paul specials are like the Squires of Gibson, then I feel like the Maestro is the Starcaster Strat, not like the 70s hollow body that like Tom DeLonge has kind of is brought back, you know what I mean? But this is like the Starcasters that were sold at like Costco. So to just give you that idea of like the price point of where they were trying to fit in the market with these Maestros. And rather than upgrade this, because I've already upgraded a Les Paul Jr. that's an Epiphone Les Paul Jr. I've already done that. This, I'm just gonna fix it up. And, you know, honestly, here, let's just take these. We're not gonna tighten these up. We're gonna let them fall loose because I want to polish the body. Polish the body. So, let's snap some strings. And we'll just go for cleaning, polishing, tightening things up. And then we'll start doing the precision work. We're done with all the setup on this guitar. I just have to put knobs on, so I gotta decide which knobs are going on there. I made sure that this strap button is nice and tight. We polished the body. I used deoxit on the potentiometers to get rid of any potential scratchiness. I dressed the fretboard. Now there's no sharp ends, and they're nice and smooth. Little bit of a roll on the edges there. I took care of a couple high frets. The neck is straight. I added a couple little 2 slivers of a business card stacked for a shim in the neck. This is quite a tall humbucker, so I wanted to make sure we had nice good angle and could get as relatively low action as possible on something like this. We had to tighten up a few of the tuning keys, and I polished the headstock to the best of my ability. It has some scratches from someone who cut their string ends and left them too long, and so there's some swirl scratches from when they were tightening and the string end was just digging in there. What else did I do? On the back cavity here, I put some copper tape to shield it. I'm not big on shielding, just because I think part of the charm of certain guitars is the noise. I'm not like a guy who's trying to get the cleanest sound, like some kind of shred guy that just wants like the cleanest sound with the least interference. I play more blues, rock and roll type stuff, so like noise doesn't affect me. It's all part of it. But that shielding that cavity, if it actually does something or not, who knows? Whatever. I just did it because most of the time those are shielded. Like if you buy an Epiphone, it's shielded. So I shielded this one. The fretboard has been cleaned. The frets have been polished. The fretboard has also been oiled. I used a mechanical pencil and put some graphite in the nut slots. I adjusted the action to the best that it can be, and it's it's good action. I can see it's great. It's lower than it was, and the playability will be just fine. The one thing I don't like about these guitars is this style wraparound bridge, because it's very plain. The wraparound edge here, where the strings wrap over, the strings dig in, so there is some gouging in the bridge that I don't like. There's also gouging on the compensated raised saddle, which I don't like, because if that gouging is somewhere that you don't want that string to be, it doesn't matter. That string's going to find that gouge. Also, those gouges are a little sharp, so they can wear on the string, but it is what it is. I'm leaving it stock. I do have a nice replacement wraparound bridge, but I'm going to keep that for some other project. This Maestro I'm just reviving it and making it better than it's ever been, but not upgrading it. I believe the reading we got off of this pickup was 10 something, maybe somewhere around 10 and a half, which is fine. I like that. That's a little high, which is good, but it's not like high, which I wouldn't want something that high output in this. So that 10 and a half range is great. When I took off the neck plate on the back side, I could see that the paint was originally white. It has aged to what I would say is the equivalent of like Fender's Olympic white. I have a American Strat that is an Olympic white. So as I'm comparing the two, the Olympic white is a little bit more yellow, But the contrast from when I took hardware off of this, the original white was very white, and you could tell that this white has aged and yellowed, and it might reach a point where it gets just as yellow as my Olympic white American Strat. So this is the American Professional 2. It has a push tone button to allow you to tie in either the bridge pickup with the neck pickup or vice versa. This is a great guitar. I love this guitar. I don't play it enough. I revere it, and it stays hanging on my wall. But beautiful guitar. But that Olympic white is kind of what the body of this looks like. This is not as yellowed, but it's on its way for sure. So we should plug it in and give it a try. Going into my Fender Rock Pro 700. It's solid state clean, tube driven drive channel. Something's not grounded, because when I touch, there's a buzz, there's a hum, but when I touch it goes away. Tube should be warmed up by now, so let's give the drive channel a try here. That is fun. All right. Now we got to decide between this regular round knob or this style kind of, I don't know what you'd call that, hat knob? So let's see here. 10. All right, that looks good. That looks standard. But let's see. Oh, it fits, good fit. Oh, there's these too. I also have the silver tops. Kind of like the way the silver tops look. I like the way those look too. I think I'm going to keep these on there. But just out of curiosity, what would a white one look like? No, it's too white. Oh, these want to come off too easy. You know how we fix that? We just open up the split shaft a little bit more. There we go. They're not going anywhere now. And to finish it off, we're going to use this Body Gloss by Dunlap, Cream of Carnauba. This stuff smells like banana cream. Banana cream. Essentially like a wax. And then we wait for 30 seconds before we polish it off. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit more now that the guitar is off. There we go. Happy with the way that this turned out. Fun guitar. I've been having a lot of fun with these Les Paul Jr. style guitars, and when I saw this one, you know, just I had to get it because it's very, again, it's very Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day. So he had a signature series that he put out in like a kid's beginner pack, which was cool. I'd love to get my hands on one of those, but for now, this works. This is great. One thing I didn't think to do was, I'm talking about how this guitar reminds me of Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, and earlier I showed you a book that I got from Goodwill. I have this from Goodwill. I paid $2.29 for it. So let's oh, whoever had this before, I think, wrote a song. I'm not going to share that song here because I don't want to give up this person's work, but I'm going to learn this person's song. Let's see. All right. Let's just go with, yeah, let's go with the namesake of this song, American Idiot. This album, I should say. Namesake of the album. All right, what do we got here? Power chords, of course. All right, let's plug it in. Wait for the tubes to warm up. Try to turn down the master volume so that I'm not clipping the audio. Also, I'm so close to the amp, it's feeding back. Controlled by the media. Boom. There we go. We learned a song out of a book that I got at Goodwill for the guitar, the appropriate style guitar that I got for $30 off of OfferUp. Guys and gals, if you find yourself a good budget guitar on OfferUp for a killer price, get it, fix it up. Even if the pickups don't work, even if the pots don't work, that's okay. You can replace them with better quality parts and then make this thing all hot rodded out. And really, to all hot rodded out, you just gotta replace some things, just some parts. If you know someone that knows how to do it, you can get them to do it, or you could experiment and find out how to do it yourself. Plenty of videos on YouTube. Or you could find someone like me that knows how to do it for you and will be fair and affordable on price. This is a hobby for me. It's not how I make my money. So I don't gouge on price when I do things. That's why people keep bringing me projects. I just need something to do with my hands. You know, idle hands are the devil's playground. So, yeah, man, that was cool. That was fun. American Idiot on the white Les Paul. Go out there, find yourself a deal.